Ray K, the explainer.
Hey guys, this is Ray K, also known as the Explainer God, and today we have a special first module that you requested, and I'm going to give you the presentation, basically the exercises. And this is really a framework for discovering your superpowers for maximum impact and profitability, which basically means how can I get paid doing how can I get paid doing what I love, and also how can I really discover the things that I'm passionate, that drives me, that energizes me, and really I'm in the zone. It's like my mojo, and like that type of feeling when you're on top of the world. And how can you continuously and consistently keep that, so it helps you in your relationships, in your business, in your ventures, in your clients, in your emotional, mental, and all other states. Okay, so let's get rolling through that. I'll reveal to you, and I'll give you actually those three exercises. I'm going to show you the 5 steps that you must start with if you want to discover what your superpower is, and how to make impact and also make money with that. Okay, so what you'll get is this is the fastest result. I'm going to show you the fastest result, how you're actually getting paid or make sales. Also, how do you discover and really understand what you love, what you're really good at, have fulfillment, and also have a meaning in your life, something that you feel like you are put on this earth to do, not just doing something that people need, something that you required, but actually what's in your heart, what's inside of you. Okay, I'm also going to reveal to you the VPMS method. So first of all, why listen to me? Now, I have worked with pretty much everybody that from marketers to personal thought leaders, and I got basically from I got to the stage where I was actually literally on stage with Russell Brunson, bringing acts and doing crazy things I never thought it was possible, and having myself in the video, and being presented as the one of the top experts in creating sales and marketing videos. And the purpose of those videos is really help Russell and everybody else connect with their audience, explain what they do in a really simple and engaging way, and connect with people at that level to tell the story that they want to tell. Okay, now I actually I started everything from secret, and my first thing I did was actually just write things I know, and started taking out the leaflets. This is how I started. No money, no people that I knew, nothing. Like I just moved to that area, and it was foreign country for me, so English was not my the strongest part, and it was really the hardest thing for me. And that's how I started. So I didn't start with marketing and sales. I actually started with mindset. I understood, started researching The Secret. Actually, through The Secret, I signed up for all the people's email list. And that's, my journey. So I'm going to show you how to go from working in the factory, how at least I did that, and help other people. But you can be anywhere. You can be homeless. You can be working at a dead-end job. You can actually be making money, but not happy, not fulfilled. Okay, now I know all my life pretty much I was looking for my superpower. So I was going to the business meetings, right? Trying to talk with clients, trying to beg, basically, almost like I'm going to do it for free. I'm actually going. I did. I asked my friend to help me with to get. Basically, I borrowed projections, so I made videos for the ice hockey games, and I was there, and no clients over that, no business meeting, nobody basically took my videos, and I actually almost gave up on this. I almost gave up on doing the videos, and the reason was because I didn't think anybody wants that. Okay, so usually this is how kind of I figured we go in life, right? So we start kind of. Something happens, or something we feel we're not happy. So maybe we don't feel happiness, right? So we just go after happiness, And then, we might find something we do what we love, but then like, oh shit, you need money, right? So then you go towards making money, but then you find yourself that you're actually not happy because you're making money, but like it's not fulfilling, right? And then, maybe, I'm going to do more. I'm going to try, make more money. And then you see like it's even more unhappy. Then you're like, okay, I'm quitting this. I'm going to do what I love. And then, you're doing something that you really, again, love, passionate, etc. But again, like there's no money in that, right? All money is struggle. And then you go back into the money. And it's like, it's just this, like a snake trying, one direction, another direction. And then kind of like, you kind of start looking at this middle ground, which is like, being happy and making money, right? You start looking for that place, and usually by then we kind of already stuck. We have certain mindset limits. We already stuck in the job, or have a company that's making money, but we are stuck in that, and it's hard for us to change, right? So the idea is that, what's the difference between the Batman and the Superman? Now, if you remember the movie, it says they ask Batman or Bruce, what are your superpowers? And he says, I'm rich. And actually, this is what we did for Russell Brunson for 2018 Fun Hacking Life, which was which was actually the animation for that. Also, they asked like, Russell, so what's your superpower? Like, I'm rich, right? So if you don't have the money, if you don't have connections, if you don't have pretty much anything, right? How can you be somebody? So Batman has the money, Batman has the connections, Batman has all the resources, but Superman has something that comes from inside that's given to him. Okay, so how do you become that? Now, when I was looking for that, I was actually the first client I got when I was homeless, and then found somebody who invested in me. The first client was Joseph McClendon. So at his event, I just kind of tried to figure out what can I help people with, what I know and what would be amazing. So I did at his event. I did this crazy video that I filmed during the event. I kind of edited at nighttime, 3-day event. And then at the end, I showed basically the video, and people went just crazy because it was during the event. But I wanted to do YouTube videos for him to promote his seminar. And he came back to me one time. So I did this video, and he came back to me and said, you know what, Ray, I showed this to Mike Koenigs. I'm like, I don't know this guy, but I showed to Mike Koenigs, and he said, you know what? He said like, these videos, they're not gonna get any, they won't get any people into the seminar because they're just not marketing videos. They're good for events, but they're not marketing videos. So that moment's like, oh shit, it's like, I'm like, I don't like that guy, Mike Koenigs. I don't know who he is, but I don't like him because he's taking my clients away, right? But then, you know what? I was thinking like, and this actually influenced me. So when I was first introduced to The Secret in 2007, I signed up on all the lists, and when I spoke with Dan, I did the interview with Dana Derricks. He's big about Dream 100, which is like, your Dream 100 clients, right? So I sign up on all the people on The Secret, right? On the emails, I've researched them, and actually Dana said that I actually did Dream 100. That was the first time that I really did Dream 100 research. And then I got an email one time from John Assaraf saying like, hey, this is John Assaraf and Mike Koenigs. I'm like, this guy again, right? And we showing how to do video marketing or how to use video to get your sales and business, etc. Right? So for me, like, I'm already like, I don't like that guy already, Mike Koenigs, and now he's like he's gonna do video marketing, which I didn't do a really good job with Joseph. So I was so pissed, really. And then I was like, I caught myself because I did a lot of personal development. I caught myself like, why are you pushing things away? Why are you pushing the things you want away? And I realized, you know what? Like, if I want find out how can I make whatever I know, the video skill, whatever, if I cannot make so my clients will get results from it, I won't make it. Nobody's gonna interested. Nobody's gonna hire me, basically, right? So I had this goal to actually do this. So my superpower actually came not by understanding what I know, but understanding how to use my power for good, right? For something that's valuable. And that was a really important thing. So, I immediately changed the way I looked. I went to Facebook, messaged him, and then, after 3 months, pretty much, after the message, I was already sitting in the same place where John Asaraf was introducing Mike. I was sitting in there and having an interview with him, and that was insane. Okay, and that event, actually, the first event, this is where I met Brendan Bouchard. This is where I met Jim Quick, and I also met Russell Brunson. That shaped my life entirely. And with my clinics, he introduced me to work with Tony Robbins to do his their UPW promotion video. They also introduced me to Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, at 2009. So that was 2010. So that was the time before the movie, and the movie actually I used a lot to promote myself also. So again, all these clients I got was just because I changed my mindset and I really understood how to use my superpower. But I never understood my superpower unless it was needed and valuable. Okay, so that's where the Superman comes in, because Superman, like if you think about, if Superman is using his night vision, or the vision that he sees through watch naked women, right? We wouldn't call it a superpower. We would call it like stupid or pervert or whatever. So superpower is something that is extraordinary ability to help somebody, and that's what we really have to understand about our superpower. So for me, when I understood that, that's why I went on the stages and really, achieved so many great things that I wanted, and actually was my dream come true. 10 years ago, I actually set this goal, like I'm going to do amazing, crazy videos for the events. And that was like my biggest dream come true. But Houston, we have a problem, because I was on stage. I had everything I wanted from in that field. And I felt like, oh my God, like that's not what I wanted to do. That's not all to me. So I want to introduce you via VPMS method, because it will show you how to actually find something that you will have, like all your life is about that. You won't be stuck into this, destination where you will feel like there's way more than you actually allow yourself to do, and to really, find that what are you all about, what your life is all about, what you really want to do in life. Okay, so VPMS method, which is, we have your values, which is what you really love, right? Personality, which is what you're really good at, and then and I combine it. I have it as two separate worlds, which is inner world. So inside, imagine our skin is the border of the inside and outside. So whatever is inside is what we really love and what we're really good at, and then the outside. Okay, so once we know who we are, and I'll show you today, I will give you the exercises how to find who you truly are. Then we can find, okay, so if I am this, if I am this already, how is it value to others? How the world needs, which is our marketing or message, right? This is our message. How the world, whatever we are, this is how the world needs. And then probably not sales. I'm using sales for the moment, but what you can get paid for. So this is where, how can you get compensated? How you can exchange and really, get whatever you need or whatever you want in return. Okay. So that's what VPMS method. This is your values, your personality, your marketing, and sales. So what I did is, I actually had somebody saying, Ray, you need to put everything into process. So I worked on this, and I actually developed the whole process. Everything I know, everything I did and I knew how to do, I put together in a simple process, in a simple step-by-step process that allow you to find, that balance. And I'm going to show you what it is. Okay, so we're going to cover only the first module. And if you think about it, like really, like this, what you really love, all this, you feel like, okay, so if I'm at home, so I'm going to talk about some work at home, right? And then I'm at work, so maybe I'm going to sell using my family a little bit, connection, so people connected. But like we feel like, so everywhere we go, we kind of bring just the small parts, just a little bit of us into wherever we're going. And then you have like all this mixed up together, and then we kind of have the purpose. And that's the idea of this, at least how they try to portray it, which is like you start with what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can get paid for, and then you have this small piece in the middle where you have this purpose. But when I was looking at that, I was like, you know what, like it says who you are. Everything you are, it's not important, it's not acceptable. And I was looking like, no, actually, wherever I am, all my life, all my experiences, everything shifted and shaped me in a way so it created who I am now. And when I create videos, I use everything from my life, all the experiences. So when basically for me to create amazing videos, I use everything I know, everything I am, everything I bring to the table, not just video stuff, but like emotions, movies, my pains, everything I am. And I was like looking at that, I was like, that's wrong. This is the way the way it's positioned is wrong. It's actually all our life, all those parts is our purpose. And I was like, no, the whole thing is our purpose. It's like a table. You have those four pillars, the four legs, right? And you have to raise all of them equally. And the higher you can raise, the higher you feel you fulfilling your purpose. And that's what it's really all about. Okay, so I'm going to show you today only specific parts that the 5 steps from what you love and what you're really good at. Okay, so this is how we're going to go about it. So we must identify 2 things. One is our values, which we really love. And our values is like a top of the mountain, this is like our life's values. This is where we always gonna go, and maybe it will change the side of the mountain, or, like which part of the mountain where we're gonna go up, where we're gonna stay. But the idea is the same. It's the same. It's always gonna be there. The values is what we value in life. That's the most important thing for us, or the most important things. And then the personality. So personality is the vehicle we're driving to that. And once we understand what our values, what is our main goal in life, what unconsciously we're always going about and towards, and then what type of vehicle we're driving, our personality. Are we Formula One? Are we 4x4? Are we family car, right? Like understanding what type of vehicle you're driving, then you can choose the path to that. And really the fulfillment comes from, understanding the way you are, and then choosing the path that will help you and will be most natural way to get to the mountain, which is your values. Okay, so how are we going to do this now? Values, right? Which is really important. So imagine 2 people, right? We have Justin and Eve. And let's say, Justin has something, some sort of a topic that he really is loving it. So this is where, and you can actually see it representing. That's how much energy, the time, and, and mental capacity, everything is there. And my favorite saying is like, imagine, let's say for me, one of the most important things is my son, and having him experiencing life, and having all these opportunities to see, free his mind. So for me, if I see this as like, if this is most valuable thing for me, and it's unconscious, not conscious, it's unconscious, it's like it's naturally always, always have time for that. I don't really, like, if I have taxes to do, I'm not going to do taxes if I see that my son needs to have some sort of experience, right? So the general, like in army, would say like, well, if I don't see this object strategically important. I'm not gonna send a big of resources and a battalion to that place. So the same way is like if it's something that's not valuable to us, which is unconscious to us, if it's not valuable, we don't have the energy, we don't have the mental capacity, because it's just not allowing, it just doesn't give, our unconscious doesn't give enough energy and all these other things. So for Justin, for example, let's say his son and his relationship with his son is the most important thing, right? And then let's say, building a business, like that's red. That's how much capacity, mental capacity, energy, and everything he wants, right? And then for Eve is actually the other way around. For Eve, the business, she sees business as most important thing to take care of for her son, so she spends time working and all the other things. But for her, time with the son is not really important, because she sees business or having money to take care of his education, all that. So she's pretty much every time, all the time working. So if Justin wants to sell something or wants to, sell or communicate anything to Eve, he has to understand. So whatever it's important to him, he has to translate into a language that is important to her. Following? So what's happening is, if we understand our values and we understand somebody else's values, then we can translate and connect. So for example, if I'm spending 20 years of my life doing videos, so if you don't want to do any videos, how is it, if I spend 20 years of my life doing videos, how is it valuable to you? And I can say, okay, so you know what, I pretty much made all the mistakes, I tried everything, so you want to get clients, right? So what I did is I prepared for you, and we're only going to give you steps that's required to get the result. So you're not going to do, you're not going to learn about video. I'm just going to do only what works in video. I spent 20 years doing that, and I know exactly what works, so you don't have to, right? So that's where I understand my values, but I also understand somebody else's values, and I have to communicate. And that's where the messaging is. This is where it's important. Okay, so how do you determine your values? Well, there's 13 questions, and I'm actually below, I'm going to include the links to that. But these 13 questions, this is what they do. So how do you fill your space? How do you spend your time? How do you spend your energy? How do you spend your money? Where you're most organized? Where you're most reliable? What dominates your thoughts? What do you visualize most? What do you most often talk to yourself? What do you most often talk to others about? What inspires you? What goal stands out in your life and have stood the rest of your time? And what do you love to learn or read most about? For me personally, I fill my space with electronics, something capturing with video, capturing, experience of life, and really, loving life. And how do you find new places? So I have cables, connections, cameras, microphones, anything I can, whatever it makes my life easier to capture life or, capture myself. That's what really important to me. And also, we do a lot of playing with my kids. So, family wise, so we have a lot of these fun, interesting things to do. And which is, again, connection with them, spending time with them is really important. So, these are just a couple of things, but understand, also it's really understanding life and understanding the universe, understanding how, who am I, right? Who am I in this universe? Who am I in this world? What's I grew up I left home at 15, so I kind of grew up from 15 without family. And I always felt like I needed to find the answer. Who am I in this world? What's the use of me being here? And this question drove me for almost, still drives me to understand and really care about that, right? So everything about that, I'm in. I'm light up. I can talk up till 6 a.m. I can spend doing webinars. I'm really but I'm not really interested in helping people, talk about business or money, for example, investment. That's not really important to me, right? So once I understand that, that's easier. The second thing is personality. So there's two things in personality. So one is you have to do two tests basically. So one is 16personalities.com. I see it's actually Lithuanian, so I'm going to change that, but we have two tests. So one is 16 personalities. Now 16 personalities, remember, right? Your values, we looked at, now it's personality, what type of vehicle you're driving. So, from 16 personalities, there's two tests. 16 personalities, which is, we have 4x4. So analyst, sentinels, diplomats, and explorers, and then all of them are separated in 4 groups. That's why it's 16 personalities. And I was skeptical about these tests before, but when I started, it was really, bad time for me, and I started researching and really, learning about myself, and that was most life-changing thing, because I started understanding. I felt like first time in my life, first time I was understood. Okay, so when you do those tests, this is what's gonna happen. It will bring you, your strengths, your weaknesses, your romantic relationship, how you in that, your friendships, your parenthood, career paths, workplace, right? So for me, for example, once they've got their foot in the door, once they've got a willing ear higher in the hierarchy, the sky's the limit. And that's when I understood those things. That's when I understood, once they got their foot in the door, let's say with Russell or with Dan Henry or with anybody, with Mike Koenigs, with the woman that was doing product development for Tony Robbins for 10 years, right? Once they got a willing ear high in the hierarchy, the sky is the limit. And that's when I understood myself. And, this is really just an example. But once I understood who am I, how I function, right, there was a game changer. And then the other one is the big five personality traits, which is openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Once you figure this out, once you figure out who you are, the way you build, and it's basically our life, this is how we create it, then everything changes. Agreeableness is, how do you actually are you saying yes to many things because you like to agree with people, or you're actually not? I am really not. Conscientiousness, are you dutiful? Are you the one that really is gonna take care of the things, right? Are you administrator, right? Are you creative, entrepreneur, or you are administrative manager? Once you figure this out, it's really easy, and you understand why your life usually doesn't work, because you're not betting on your strengths. Extroversion, how you open to, how do you share things, and are you enthusiast and assertive? And then neuroticism, how sensitive you are to negative things, thinking about what's going to happen or what happened. And then open to experience, how open you are, how are you learning about things, or you just kind of do the same thing over and over again. Once you understand those things. So for me, for example, one of the things was, I understood that I'm zero politeness. So they are comfortable confronting other people and enjoy it, right? And I always get myself in trouble. And because I didn't understand that, I always felt like something was wrong with me. But once I understood that, I said, you know what? I'm 100% honest with people. I don't have politeness. If I feel something, if I hear something, if I feel that something needs to be said, or people would actually appreciate, because it's the truth, I'm gonna say it, right? So, but then, the problem was, because I didn't say it in the right environment. I usually, used to say to people just because I felt kind of, was important to say. But then I was like, okay, you know what? Unless somebody pays me, I'm not going to say it, because I have zero politeness. I can help people. And unless somebody pays me, I'm just not going to waste my time, because they're not going to appreciate it, right? So once I understood that, I've actually made this as my strength, because what I did is I actually helped people with the consultations. They paid me, and actually tell them exactly what's happening in their life, and they really appreciate, because I didn't care about the feelings, because it was all about, feelings don't matter if your life doesn't work, because you need to hear the truth, what's happening. And I actually managed to connect them. Okay, so once you understand that, that's really easy. Now the fourth step is really understanding and the hero's journey, which is what's your journey? What journey you're in now? And there are 6 questions that you have to ask. And this is really interesting. When I worked with Russell, and it was really hard time for me, I asked Russell basically to help me with certain things. He gave me this training that he did with Dagan Smith. And there was a guy, Michael Hodge, who creates Hollywood movie scripts for Hollywood. And he's actually trained them. And then Henry actually got him to come to his house to train him on the storytelling. How in Hollywood they actually build the stories. And it was interesting because I kind of used this, kind of for marketing, but once I applied it for myself, it was like life-changing because I never understood this. I never understood my journey. And once I understood that, I understood why do I react? What do I afraid of? All the things that I'm actually don't follow through because there's something in my mind that doesn't allow me to do. So the best example I can tell you is a hand versus the whole body. So if you imagine there's personality is basically like a hand. That's, if we have 100% of our body, we only have like 5% is the hand. Now, once you understand this will help you to understand better yourself, to don't sabotage yourself, to not have bad feelings or negative thought about yourself. It will avoid low self-esteem and all those things. It will change your life once you understand this and really will, do this exercise. So the hand is 5%, the whole body is 100%. So this is the way it is. In every single movie, you can see this. This is all it's all about. Personality. Every single movie starts with the personality. Person is in his personality. Wedding Crashers, Shrek, right? Shrek starts somebody dun, dun, dun. Now he starts being alone, and that's like fun and interesting, all those things, right? And then there's something that on his journey, whatever happens, something always in the movie, every single time, something happens, and they're now on the journey to actually come back to the same place, safe place. But in that journey, they actually find something that they really wanted. It's called Hero's 2 journeys. The journey that whatever he thinks he wants, and then whatever he really wants. Okay? So the hand, personality hour, is always to protect us. It's always looking for that cave, and whatever happens, it tries to get back to the cave. And in every single movie, there's a tipping point where they realized what they truly, really desiring, longing for, and they want to go, and they actually, the point of no return when they commit. Now, I'm going to explain to you how it applies to our life, but this is insanely important because that's when they choose to go after what they really want, and everything else until the end of the movie or until in our life is about the challenges that we face when we make a decision to go after the things that we're really passionate about. And usually the last act is where you're confronted with the past, and there's a choice you have to make. The choice between being in the same place or becoming 100% who you are. Every single hero movie is about that. It's about embracing who they truly are and all the challenges, and all the things that they think it might stop them. And in any movie, you can actually see this. You can see this in Shrek. So, he's in falling for Fiona, and now he's tipping point of no return. He's already in love, and there's no return. Now, everything else is about challenges that he's gonna face if he really wants to get, because it's always easier to just go back to the swamp, right? Wedding Crashers, it's easy, they're crashing, and then he falls in love, and then, all hell just basically gets loose because he wants to go to be with that woman, but they basically reveal that he was just crashing and sleeping with women, and that basically almost finished, and he has to embrace. And then Cars is the same way. He always wanted to win, but actually he never had friends. And when he had that goal, he actually understood the friendship is more important than winning. Okay, so the difference between hand and understanding where your personality is, and here's how to differentiate those two things. I had about 200 or 300 people saying and writing what is their personality and what is the essence going through this exercise. This is how they said personality, pretty much always not trusting, angry, protective, hard-shelled, so always kind of pushing people away, bitchy and like, cocky and all those things. And the essence, loving, just want people to feel good, wants to have best experience and all those things, right? And you can actually see like it's our human nature's essence of who we are. We are amazing, loving human beings who just want to live, share, and love other people and, have a really amazing, great time. Everything else is the dimming of the lights that shines through us. So here are the 6 questions that you must ask yourself, and this will reveal. So what are you longing for? What are you longing for? Now, again, this is how they build movies. $100 million movie starts with this. What are you longing for? What you really desiring? So for me personally, I'm really longing to just belong. I want to be part of, with people and have some amazing time and share the most amazing experience, learn from that and from them, and, just have a great time with me, with my family, with the people around me, that, we can create something amazing. Now, what is the wound? So the wound is something that happened that cut you, that somehow impacted you, so that you had something, that's hurting. For me, there's a couple of things. So one is when I was probably about 12, my mom forced me to, well, kind of like, this is what she said, like, there was dog and the puppies. She basically gave birth to puppies, and she showed me, before that, she showed me what I have to do. Basically, she put a bucket of water, and she's told me, just, put them in. And actually, she just walked away. And I actually was putting, I remember that the tears were falling, and I was putting, and I was seeing them drowning. And I left one. I think I drowned 2 or 3, and then I just left one because I couldn't. And, for me, it was really like most painful experience, because like I felt like, how is it the person that gave me birth, I listened to them because I kind of, wanted the relationship, and I wanted them to accept me. So I agreed. And then somehow, I became this murderer, basically, somebody that did something that I didn't want it to do. And I think, at that time I finished my relationship with my mom, and I just never really connected with her, because I think I just didn't trust her anymore. And, throughout my life, I had basically never had, didn't really fight with other people, although, I am in martial arts, but never really fight, because I always felt like I can hurt somebody, and I didn't want it. I'm not really violent person at all. I tried, I avoid basically conflicts, and, the violent. And then once, I put on my father, like, connection, I kind of trust. And then, of course, the relationship was bad within the parents. But I said, there was one time when I was 15, it was so, I think, bad. My mom left, and he was drunk and brought another woman, and they slept in another room. I heard everything, basically, the bed crackling and all those things. And then, so I felt like my heart stopped. I didn't understand at that time. I didn't really understand about sex much. And I was beaten. I said to my mom in the morning when she came back, I said, this is what happens, like, whatever. And I was beaten by my father because I was telling the lie, right? Because I think, he just wanted to go away. And for me, it was like, okay, that's it. Both are done, right? So, what happened was, what is my fear? So my fear is, if I'm, people who I love, if I'm going to listen to them, I might get in trouble. I'm going to do something that I will regret, or something that I won't, love. Also, they might betray me, they might do something. And if I'm going to be saying the truth, I'm going to get hurt, right? All these fears I have, from that. And then what is my belief? So belief, if I'm going to say the truth, whatever I believe, I'm going to get hurt. If I'm going to listen to people who love me, I'm going to somehow get bad things. That's what I believe. So what is my personality? Well, I'm not trusting people even who love me. And I'm not when I say the truth, I'm not trusting people like that, that's the right thing, or that's going to bring me the good things. I'm always scared about that. I'm always kind of sensitive about that. I'm really like sensitive about saying the truth. And then what is my essence? Well, my essence is I just want to have an amazing time with people. I just want to enjoy life. I just want to, belong and, share with people amazing things. So when I understand that, like, that's my personality and that's my essence, and there's a difference. And when I let myself be the personality, I'm always going to do something. So this is what's going to happen. The fifth step is pattern recognition. Now, here's what it is. Once you identify the patterns that you're doing unconsciously and all these things are running you, that's when everything changes. So 3 questions you can answer, which is going to reveal. So what you're afraid of, right? So I'm afraid of, it's already there. I'm afraid of that if I'm going to say the truth, somehow it's going to affect me negative. If I'm going to love somebody, I'm going to listen and I'm going to open up and trust them completely, might get somewhere where I didn't want it to be. So all these fears, right? And then, so what do you do when you're afraid? So I'm doing something when I'm afraid. So I'm not trusting, I'm doubting, I am I'm trying to make a decision. Is it okay? Is it wrong? Is it right to say these things, right? If it's going to bring me bad things or good things, I'm always kind of lost in those things. So what I do is, what I can do is I can write basically, okay, so I do things. This is what I do when I'm afraid. I'm listing everything. This is what I do. This is my behavior, and my behavior brings me results. So if whatever I'm afraid, I'm just creating more and more of that. So what do you do? Now, what I can do is, what is the opposite action? So if I know this is what I do when I'm afraid, so how can I change that? Well, make it opposite. Change those things on the opposites. If I'm doubting, just do it, right? If I'm not sure, just be certain, or just try it. Just do it, right? If you're doubting what you say, just say it. Or get some opinions about it, right? Just kind of. Don't be in your head, don't be in that fear, and that's what's going to happen. So what you're going to come up with, it's going to be a specific manual or specific instructions for you. Here is what you do. Now, why it's important? Sorry for always kicking this microphone. So why is it important? Well, it's the same as, if you think about pilots, right? It's the same way. They need to know what to do in any emergency. Like, you have one engine is down. Okay, what do I do? Well, don't think what you have to do. You have a training or you have a manual, right? In case of this, do these steps, right? And cross check, like a turn, whatever, pumps off, all those things. They have a checklist, right? So if you think about, like, when I was skydiving, is the same way. As like, I had this fear for 10 years, right? I was afraid to do those things. Now, this is a really amazing thing. And even today, I was flying and, I had an amazing flight. I did about 60 flights now, plus 27 base skydiving jumps overall. And I still feel that fear. I still feel that kind of sick in my stomach, and doesn't go away. The thing I learned is, the first time, I'm afraid, right? So I had a tandem instructor harness me to his harness, basically, attach him, and he jumps. I don't even do it. Like, I just watch like a movie. I just hang, and then he just, goes to the door and jumps and pulls everything, lands everything. Like, I don't have to worry about. Okay, I'm afraid, but I did that, right? So now I go to training where like I won't pull the chute myself, but when I jump out, I went through the training. But when I jump, I jump myself, but it pulls the parachute, so I don't have to. It's 100% secure because it's gonna pull out the parachute. Once I did that, I still have the fear. So now I'm gonna do the trainings where my two instructors will hold me, but I'm not gonna be attached, and I'm gonna be pulling out the parachute, right? But they don't let me go. I still have that fear, and once I still have that fear every time I go, but because I have a training, I have a manual what to do, I know exactly what to do because I trained, and then everything changes because I can overcome that. Whatever's coming up here, I have instruction to deal with. Okay, and you can do amazing things. Hang at 9,000 feet, 3 kilometers. You can hang on the side of the plane on the wing, stay there for like 30 seconds and then jump. Like, it's insane. When I was it's first time going skydiving, that I will do those things I would never imagine. Okay, so these are the 5 steps. Once you're gonna go, you're gonna have what are your values, what's important to you, right? Then you're gonna have what is your personality, how you're built, right? What type of personality you have, what are the traits, what are the weaknesses, the strong. This is your vehicle. This is the vehicle you're driving, and you better know it, because then you might choose the path that's gonna be amazing for you. It's gonna feel like like you have it's perfect for you. Basically, it's the way you built, right? And then it's like having athletes do their own thing. If it's a small guy, like they don't go to basketball, right? Like Formula 1 drivers, they have to be light and they have to be small. It's all optimized for them. Okay, and then you have the fear, understanding really what your fears are. And then that was the 5th one, but the 4th one is your personality and identity. Once you identify those, then you understand, okay, this is who I am, this is what I love, this is amazing, things, this is who I am. Now I can build my life, I can build what do I want in my life to achieve. And then it's, okay, if this is me, this is who I am, how is it now valuable to other people? How is it amazing to other people? And how can I market or create a message around that? Which I did for 10, 12 years, pretty much, for all those amazing people and Russell and everybody else. I was creating their messaging. I was creating their message visually. So I learned how to create that message and to translate whatever we are inside, how to translate so people will understand the value of it. And then how you can get paid for it. Then that's how sharing who you are, attracting people who want to learn from you. How do you set up the communication and everything, so you don't just give away free advice, but you actually get paid for it. If you're creating value for somebody, if you're really giving amazing things, how do you set it up in a way that you can get paid for it? So if you're interested in all of those things, right, if you want to actually get help going through those things, I want to offer you this. It's a no selling, nothing, no intention to really like get money from you, but it's really about creating value for you. And if you see the value for it, we can then agree how we can help you. So I'm setting up a free discovery 15 minutes call, which basically will, when you're going to do those things I gave you, the 5 steps, you will have clarity of what's next, and set up a call with me. I have a link below, so set up a call, and I will basically guide you and help you understand certain things that you don't see or you have conflicts about, or once you understand about yourself, what to do next, where do you start, what are the next step. And this will be transformational, because what I'm really good at and understanding what we want, and not lie to ourselves, and really let ourselves follow our path. And this is the meaning of become the person that you always want, or you already are, because you already became that, and become the hero of your own life's story. Become the hero. There's nothing bad happened. It all shaped who you are, and now is really about embracing that part of you who's already there. And that's what changes. The money is there, the opportunities, the clients. When you bet on yourself, it's easy. If you have hard times doing something or achieving something, is because that's not really important to you, and you have difficulties because you have certain it's not important to you, or you have certain beliefs that are in a way of you actually getting it. So if you want to know that, you must set up a call with me, because I'm the guy who understands how to identify those things. Okay, thank you for your time, and it was really amazing, for me to share these things. I know it was a little bit long, but do those exercises. I have included the links below, and you'll see it makes a difference in your life. It will blow your mind because it changes everything. Okay, have a nice night, and then set up a call with me. I'll share with you the calendar link, and you can set up a call with me. It's no obligation, no buying, no selling in there. It's just really 15 minutes of my time to help you to understand better yourself and what to do next with who you are, and how you can bet on your strengths, so you become the most valuable, the most amazing, and the most insanely influential person, to the one that really would benefit for who you are.